UEFA has given Russia a suspended disqualification from the Euro 2016 football tournament over fan violence. The European football governing body has also fined the Russian Soccer Federation nearly $170,000. Well, for the latest on this, let's go to Lorna Shaddick, who's in Moscow for us. So, Lorna, what's been the reaction there from Russians?
Well, there hasn't been much official reaction here in Moscow just yet, but the Sports Minister Vitaly Mutko has issued a brief statement merely saying that Russia will indeed go along with this move by UEFA and it will not be appealing the decision. And it's interesting how his tone has slightly changed from Sunday morning when he began by being slightly defensive in terms of his reaction to the violence that took place in Marseille on Saturday night, saying that Russia itself would look into what happened. That then evolved during the course of Sunday into Mr. Mutko saying that, of course, Russia would go along with UEFA's investigation, and indeed its fans had breached the peace and broken public order, and it was clear that there were fans in the stadium who were not there simply to watch the football. The head of the fans organisation here in Russia as well has also condemned the violence unequivocally, but it isn't across the board, that condemnation of the violence. We have seen, for example, from Igor Lebedeva, who is an MP but also sits on the Russian Football Union Committee, a tweet praising fans' behaviour in Marseille. That came out yesterday. He said effectively, "Keep it up, lads, good work." And another former spokesman for the RFU also said, he wrote a long blog post talking about Russian fans' victory in Marseille. And there is also seemingly a feeling here among some Russians that, well, the English fans were also involved, so why are we getting this special targeting?
Absolutely, Lorna, this also comes in the shadow of the Russian athletic team facing accusations of state-sponsored doping ahead of the Rio Olympics.
That's right. And there is really a feeling, I think, certainly among state media here in Russia, that it has become something of an international scapegoat for problems within sport. That's certainly been the tone of the coverage here in Russia over the last few days. And many people we've spoken to, in particular about those doping allegations, have said either they feel this is a deliberate way of trying to get Russian athletes out of the competition because they're simply too good and the Western countries don't want to have to compete against them, or it's politically motivated in some way because of difficult relationships between the West and Russia at the moment. It's another way of targeting Russia and its athletes. And there's no doubt that sport here is seen as, you know, a prestigious way for the country to compete on an international stage. We know Vladimir Putin himself is a keen sportsman, and things like hosting the World Cup for him is a good way of showing Russia off, as indeed was the Sochi Olympics in 2014. So it certainly is seen as a way by many people here of targeting Russian athletes and Russian sport in general.
Okay, well, Lorna, thanks for joining us from Moscow.